What a beautiful head! Is it a statue or a vase? I want one for my home. No, two. What legend full of blood? What?
A couple of weeks ago, I was walking around a small Italian city by the lake and suddenly saw this colorful head of a Moor in a window of a small shop. Wait a minute, isn't it the head from the White Lotus season 2?
Hey, what is with these head things? We keep seeing them everywhere.
Testa di Moro.
Testa di Moro?
Well, the story is, a Moor came here a long time ago and seduced a local girl.
There were numerous statues scattered around their fabulous Sicilian hotel, and yeah, I guess there was a hint at the beginning that it was a ominous figure in Italian folklore, referencing an old tale of heartbreak and betrayal.
This sounds intriguing, so let's find out what's the deal with those statues.
We know Testa di Moro's tale is one of revenge, loneliness and heartbreak, but it also signals that dishonesty, lustfulness and infidelity begets violence.
The vases and busts that resulted from this legend are a popular attraction for tourists, and ceramics are a very important part of Sicily's cultural landscape, which, as you can see, is spread far beyond the island and are now recognized all over the world.
They are called La Testa di Moro, or the head of a Moor, and its legend is dark and rather creepy story of love gone wrong. Here is what happened. During the period of the domination of the Moors in Sicily, that is to say in 12th century AD, a young, lonely woman in one of the neighborhoods of Palermo was taking care of her plants and flowers in the garden on the balcony of her house. Then suddenly a man appeared below her balcony, claiming he had fallen in love with her. That guy was reportedly a Moor, an irresistibly charming one, since the girl immediately responded to his claim with her love and passion in return. Or she was so easy to persuade, since she was living a lonely life. Anyways, she fell in love with him too.
Alas, the idyllic romance didn't last long. The Moor was keeping a dreadful secret. He had wife and children at home in the country, and now he had to abandon his Palermo lover to return to them.
The young lady wasn't as innocent as she seemed, or according to some less down-to-earth interpretations, the green-eyed monster possessed her. She eventually came up with a plot for the cold-hearted revenge for such a betrayal.
So when the night came and the guy fell asleep, she came by his bed and beheaded him.
Now she was not only heartbroken, but also had a spare head of a guy she had to do something with. Well, she thought of nothing better than to turn it into a vase for her balcony garden, where she would plant herbs and be sure he would never attempt to live again.
The legend goes into curious details, like she used the decapitated head as a vase to plant a bud of basil and then watered the herb with her tears, causing the plant to bloom so beautifully that the scent of the basil caused her neighbors to grow jealous and immediately order vases with the same features of the man's head. I wonder how they didn't smell the scent of the decapitated head first.
So warning to husbands, babe, screw around and you'll end up buried in the garden.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, that's how the head-shaped vases ended up being used throughout Sicily. But there's always this but. There is another version of the tale. Look, there are actually two heads of this size here, and only one is the head of a man, while the second is apparently that of a woman.
Indeed, according to the second version of the story, a Sicilian girl of noble origin falls in love with a young Arab guy. When her family found out about their affair, they beheaded them both. Their heads were turned into vases and displayed on a balcony as a warning.
So, if you put one of those outside of your house, what are you saying?
If you come into my house, don't f my wife.
Whatever that was, it became the reason why these vases are usually shown as a pair, a man wearing a turban and a woman with a crown. Horrifying, right? I almost bought one of the statues for myself. Well, it obviously looks attractive and might add some Sicilian spice to every interior. Yet, after learning the backstory, I kinda changed my mind.
By the way, they seem to be rather affordable. The big one costs here in the north of Italy $400, the middle one $290, and the small cutie goes for only $50.
So, what would you say? Would you still buy one for yourself after learning the bloody background story? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, those famous Italian love stories do really appear much more romantic than they are in reality. Like the story of Romeo and Juliet hides some shocking details that only a few know. You may learn more about it in this video here. See you there. Bye!